The music is right, and I'm going to make the vibe right for us tonight as we get a little deeper into the space that we can relax and chill in. Thank you for turning me on tonight, ladies, fellas. Appreciate you being here. Uh, I'm Lenny Green, and this is the Quiet Storm. And often, as you know, we invite company to drop in just to kind of blossom the evening even more. And needless to say, this company who I have tonight is truly a dear friend and no stranger to us. No stranger, even if you've never seen her before, because you've gotten accustomed to the character that she portrayed over the years, Drusilla Winter, and The Young and the Restless for years. So if you know who I'm talking about, then you know it is the Emmy nominated, award winning actress, director, producer, mm, who is doing so much. She's a New York Times best-selling author, which we're going to talk about because one of the topics that we're going to talk about has to deal with foster care. But it's a pleasure to be welcoming back my dearest, my favorite, Victoria Rowell. How are you, baby?
Hey Lenny, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Always good to see you. Always, always, always. How's well coming off a birthday? You just had your birthday, and it was like at the beginning of Mother's Day this year. So tell
Yeah.
me about that first. How was Mother's Day? Happy
Well,
belated Mother's Day to you.
thank you. Thank you, Lenny. Yes, I turned 65 and oh my goodness, it's been fabulous. There really is something to be said about maintaining health when you're in your
Mm,
teens. I
wow.
mean, take skincare, do it, people, because, you know, it works. I'm
Well,
just saying, I had a
no,
great
no. Yes. Look, if y'all can see her, she has such a glow on her. But I want to know, and I'm sure every lady would like to know, what is your fitness regimen like? Because you're tight. And I don't mean that in a very disrespectful way, but your body is.
None taken, Lenny, none taken at
But
all.
what is your regimen like?
Yeah, so walking, like I used to, be in ballet class. So I was a professional ballet dancer, as you know.
Mhm.
And then I went into spinning and I was like, wait, I had to reconfigure what, the regiment would be for me realistically,
Okay.
So what I do now is I walk. I do 3.5 miles around our LA reservoir.
Nice.
I'll mix it up with some ascension walking in Griffith Park, and I take hot yoga. Some people refer to it as big
Really?
yoga, and that's a 90 minute class or a 60-minute class. I'm going to go today
Huh.
um, between editing. It's very important because it detoxifies the body. I believe in colonics, not all the time.
Wow.
I believe in a facial. Doesn't mean you have to be spending all kinds of money every
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
I use jojoba oil and a Weleda skin food. It's called Weleda skin food, very affordable.
Really?
And that's what I do. I don't wear
Okay.
makeup when I don't have to, such as today.
Right.
Um, I want to look nice. I want to look fresh. I want to look natural.
Because you
And I
know what they say though. They
huh,
say like they say fitness is like what 80% nutrition, 20% physical fitness, right?
that's correct. And I'm pescatarian.
Oh, okay.
I love kale. My favorite food is collard greens, and lots of greens. Obviously some fish, and some grains. I mean, it's
Okay.
common sense, really. But it's not just that, Lenny. It's living inside out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're going to hold and bottle everything in, well, you're going to become the raisin. You're going to become the
Yeah.
raisin. You got to let it out. You got to let
Nicely put.
your spirit breathe. And
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Lord knows you stay busy enough to let the spirit breathe a
Yes,
lot.
yes.
This woman is always busy. And I know you're about to release a film. You're about to be in a new film called
Yeah.
Summer Camp. And you have, can I say, ladies and gentlemen, she has an all-star cast. I mean, produced by Diane Keaton. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Then we got Alfred
Yeah.
Woodard,
Yeah.
right? And tell me the rest of your castmates.
And Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Um,
Oh my God.
and she's doing the new CBS Matlock with my friend Sky P. Marshall, who's
Wow.
about to get married to Edwin Hodge, who was my son on Good Sam. Anyway, it's all interconnected. And then also, I said Beverly D'Angelo. We worked together in the movie Hair. which
Wow.
I'll get into a little bit in a moment. And then, of course, Maria Howell, fabulous jazz singer and actress. But the thing about the industry, Lenny, which is so magical, is when it reunifies us. Like I hadn't
Yeah.
seen Beverly D'Angelo since the 1970s when I was a
No
ballet
way.
dancer with American Ballet Theater, and she was one of the stars of Milos Forman's Hair. And
That
so
long?
we realigned, right? And he's deep. And I knew Alfred because Shirley Lee Ralph produced and directed a movie, Secrets. Of course, I know Alfred from before.
Right.
So, and I'd always wanted to work with Diane Keaton. I'm a funny person. Comedy's my first go-to. And to be able to work with her and the other stars was just a blessing. They offered
Oh,
me a role, and I said, yes, and please, thank you.
you know what? We're going to come back with Victoria Raoul. Talk about summer camp because we've all experienced summer camp. I know I had one time, and that was enough for me. Oh, what a beautiful night when we have beautiful company. And fellas, I got beautiful company tonight. This award-winning actress. This lady is so gifted, so talented, so amazing. Victoria Raoul is with us. May 31st, you're going to see her on the screen with her cast of wonderful superstar actress friends and actors, of course. And we're going to enjoy summer camp. Now, summer camp, Victoria Raoul, must have been great for you. But this kind of reflects because this is like a reunion. You guys met initially, obviously, during summer camp, and now you're coming back as a reunion. I just want to know, before you tell me the plot of the story, the bottom line of the story is, how much fun did you guys have just filming this? Because with these ladies that you had with you, that
Yeah.
had to be an enormous laugh and cut, we got to do it again, cut, we got to do it again kind of situation.
Well, it was a tremendous amount of fun. Obviously, the leads are, of course, Diane Keaton, also producer, Alfre Woodard, Kathy Bates. Okay, and so we're like our group is called the Pretty Committee, number one. So myself, Beverly, I mean, we're the
Respect.
opinionated, spoiled. Let's say my character Evelyn, let's just say hypothetically grew up on Park Avenue. We're silver spooned. We showed up as kids
Right.
at camp in designer clothes. Who wears khakis and sneakers? We wore like
Yeah, who wears that? Right.
and we came in designer, and we're still those same people. So it
I
is a
see.
commentary on who our personalities were then and what they still are now. It is an homage to friendship, but it's also, we've had to turn the corner. We're in our
Mm,
60s and older, and so we've
mm.
had to turn the corner about hearing what our friends have to say about us, not wanting to hear it. Is it possible to have love after 60? And also, we're still very competitive. So we had
Wow.
to train river rafting with real drops and rapids
Oh,
in
that's good.
Nakawala Park, which was gorgeous, national park. And it was a lot of fun and it was gorgeous, Lenny.
I can
We were
imagine.
at this place called Camp Pinnacle, and it was a camp that was built in the 1920s. Now, of course, there wouldn't be a lot of black youth at a camp in the South in North Carolina,
Facts.
but I really appreciated the producers and the writers um, embracing diversity and inclusion, and they wanted to change the paradigm there in this script.
Good.
And so they really broadened the cast, even though historically it might not have been the case. And I've really, our writer, Castile Landon, was just amazing writer, director, and Dory Rath, one of our producers as well. And so, we had a lot of fun. It was
Hmm.
look, stay ready. So, just be ready so you can, stay ready, be
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you
So,
mean.
yeah, right. Right. No, be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's exactly what it is. So,
Right.
so the river rafting, I mean, our quads, we were using our core, paddling, doing it was fun. It was fun. I had a great time.
So people are going to love this film.
They're going to love it for so many reasons, Lenny, because as I say, it's an homage to friendship, your frenemies, people. Okay, they might not be your favorite person, but there's something about them. I always like to akin friendship to a bouquet of flowers. You have a bouquet of flowers because you don't want just roses. You want to put
Mm,
some status in there. You
mm.
want to put some lilies in there, maybe some. Well, I'm not going to say baby's breath because I don't dig the baby's breath. But you want to put some things in there. You want to put some tulips in there. Anyway, so you get what I'm saying. It's like a friendship is like we can't rely on one friend for everything. That's too much pressure on a
No, it
person.
is. It really is.
So it is really the bounty of friendship, letting go of past resentments, getting into acceptance, and so and all the antics and being a workaholic. So I do want to bring that up.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Diane Keaton's role, for example. I mean, she's a workaholic, but it is a commentary on our friends really going to show up. You get out of a friendship what you put into it.
Mm.
And how many times can you say, but the meeting and the board meeting and the
Right.
thing and the thing? Well, when you're all done with your millions of dollars, who are you sitting with?
Yeah, exactly. By yourself.
Yourself?
Right. You're by yourself. Hey, look, it happens like that. And that's why not every friend is supposed to go the distance to the end of time. There are certain friends, reason, season, lifetime.
Exactly.
Victoria Rowell was definitely a lifetime for me. So that's for sure. It's the quiet storm. It's soft, it's wonderful, and it's cozy. And it's filled up with good conversation. And when I have this beautiful lady in my company, it can help be nothing but good conversation. Victoria Rowell, actress extraordinaire, New York Times bestselling author extraordinaire. This woman has done it all. And what we may not know, if you haven't really studied her past, she is a foster care advocate because she knows firsthand what it's like. You do growing up in foster care. You were
Yes.
very, very blessed. Your best-selling author book was about the woman who raised me. I think it was called, right?
That's correct, Lenny.
Right. So I can't believe the stats that recently came out. Over 390,000 children are in foster care. Is that true?
Yes, and that's an improvement.
Oh,
We
that's
were at
crazy.
500,000.
But help me understand something, because I believe Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind, and Fire is also involved with foster care. Is it true that once a child gets to a certain age, if they're not found by a family to embrace them, they're just kind of placed out on their own? Is that true, or is that?
Well, it typically at the age of 18, we're emancipated. In my case, emancipated out of foster care. I was living in New York at the age of 17 and I was emancipated. And your social worker warns you, you will be emancipated and you have to be thinking, if you have a good social worker, they're helping you bridge. Now, when I was in
Hmm,
foster care, college was not an option. My college was American Ballet Theater School,
right.
scholarship program. That became my family.
Gotcha.
Aside from my primary foster mother and others who were my mentors and supported me. It's not just foster parents.
Right.
I mean, it's a whole quilt of people, hopefully, that wrap their arms around you and continue to be consistent in your life. But nonetheless, emancipation at 18, and then all your supports went away.
Yeah.
Now there are some new provisions out there for foster youth. There's the Pell Grants. There's college.
Oh, good.
There are extended services into the early 20s. Also, I want to mention kinship care, where kinship care was, you had an aunt and uncle, a grandparent that wanted their blood, and they were being brought into question. Well, this room isn't up to code, and this isn't enough space. And here's a family that wants their own kin.
Mm,
But
sure.
there has been some legislative change where they will get the same monetary compensation as would be a licensed foster parent. So that's a very good incentive as well for them.
Because we got to get these kids obviously in the right homes, but sometimes the right fit. Sometimes I don't know, the counselors may not fit. The right child
Well,
with the right. No.
well, Lenny, it's always been a cultural thing, right? It's
Mm,
always been an issue in across the board.
okay.
I was initially placed with a white family, but it was against the law in Maine for a black child to be placed with a white family. So I was readily removed from that
Wow.
white
Wow.
family. Maine was one of 16 states that disallowed black children to be placed with white families.
Wow.
But by the grace of God, I was placed with Agatha Catherine Wooten Armstead on her 60-acre farm, a
Wow.
black woman who worked for the State House, who was a Rosie the Riveter. Don't get me started.
I know
She was
that's right.
a pianist. She was incredible. And I was blessed. So culturally, it still is an issue where you will have a social worker, well intended. And by the way, shout out to Wheelock College School of Social Work in Massachusetts. Shout out to University of Southern Maine, where my social worker was birthed from with her social work,
Mm,
Linda Webb. But what I'm saying is there are cultural differences, nuances
right.
that people simply don't understand. No, that is fine the way that that is. That is fine the way that that kitchen is set up. That is fine. Like they don't understand the social mores. It's impossible for them to understand. And unfortunately, a lot of foster children have been removed from families that don't necessarily need to be.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. So what's your ask, or what's your um yeah, I would say ask. What's your ask for hopeful families or people in general to think about foster care? What's your ask?
Let me say this. When you're a child, you don't know that you're poor. You
Right.
just want to be loved,
Yes.
right? And so I was given this gift of living with a farming family. Don't ask me how I got from pulling potatoes in Maine to Hollywood. That's a miracle.
Mm,
But I will say this: the biggest challenge is once you emancipate from foster care,
hmm.
okay? Because then you really are left to your own devices,
Okay.
pretty much. And then there are a whole set of adulting requirements that you can't even imagine that are difficult even under the best of circumstances
Hmm.
with two parents, Harvard graduates, whatever you want to say. It's
Okay.
still going to be a challenge. And to think that you have millions, I'm one of over 9 million alone that came out of the foster care system. That doesn't
Yes.
even include the children on the southern border. On the southern border, let us not forget about those souls that have
Correct.
been locked up
Yeah.
in, it's another conversation, but I
Hmm.
want to bring them into the fold. Those children have been there for over 4 years. Some of them, they can't find their parents. That's a serious matter. And I don't want us to forget about those
Hmm.
children
Hmm.
and the children on the other side of the fence waiting. One of the biggest asks I'd have of the government is to create a fund for emancipated foster youth without restriction on age, a housing fund, so that they have
Okay.
a special access to like a HELOC loan, a special designed housing loan that meets foster, emancipated foster youth where they are, whether it
Hmm.
is for a specific period of time for rent. And
Hmm.
I'm not saying that Mayor Karen Bass isn't doing her level best, big champion for foster youth for decades for affordable housing. A lot of
We
our
need more
homeless
help. More
come out
help,
of
though.
yeah, but I'm
Hmm.
saying I'd like to see money set aside by Health and Human Services, HHS, and let us really see a big, concerted effort to help foster youth with owning property. Because unless we have our own patch of dirt, we're standing on sand,
Okay.
period, full stop.
Gotcha.
So I'd like to see that with HHS really make a concerted effort to create a loan system for HELOCs, whatever you want to call them, but some type of loan that helps them own their own home, but also understanding how to own your own home. What are the requirements, the insurances, all of the things? Because we don't know when we emancipate. We have no idea because the bar, and I'll stop after this, Lenny, the bar is still so low for foster. We're not expected to own anything. We're
Yeah.
just expected to work, period. And good luck.
Well, when you accept this award, because I know you're being honored by Tiffany Haddish at her
Yeah.
foundation, because
She
she's a
Ready
foster kid.
Foundation.
Yeah, she's ready. You're ready to spill some of this information, obviously, in front of the notables that are there that can possibly help propel what you just so elegantly spoke about.
Thank
And I wish you the best, and congratulations on receiving the award as well. You got a big week. You got a big
you. I got
week.
a I got a big week. I'm really excited. Tiffany really blew my mind last year at the Griot Awards on the red carpet, and she just tapped me and said, "You know, we've met before." And I said, "We have?" And she said, "Well, kind of. You spoke at my high school years ago and talked about your foster care
Love it.
experience." And I decided right then I wanted to do what you were doing, and I was blown away. I welled up, and she has been amazing. Dr. Gordon is incredible over there at She Ready Foundation. We're gonna have a good time. It's on May 31st at the Beehive,
Crazy.
and if you want tickets, shereadyfoundation.org.
There you go. I'm sure it will be posted up. If you're following Victoria Raoul, it will be posted up on her social media platforms as well. All the best. This is going to be a great week for you. You got the film Summer Camp coming out with all-star cast. That's going to be funny. I can't wait to see that. And also continued success. I must get you back so we can really expand on foster care in a greater way. But you know, it's always a pleasure seeing you, and I thank you so much for making my nights and our nights well informed and well embraced with the many things that you do. So God bless you with the continued path that you're on the journey to fulfill. And you're fulfilling it step by step and inch by inch and still looking good. Look at you.
Thank you, Lenny, and thank you for the Barry White.
My honor. My honor. Victoria Raoul, baby, inside of the Quiet Storm. But this is not sexy. I don't know what sexy is. Let's get into more of what we love. Turn it up a little bit.